Business is changing rapidly, and I think that rate of change is accelerating. So if you look at, the sort of if you look at the key trends that are driving that, so we've got the post-globalization era, so globalization that was the big macro trend at the turn of the century, and then more recently we're really seeing, I think, two rivers of change that are coming together at the same time and driving increased turbulence and accelerated change. One is obviously technological change, and the other one is the post-depression economic change. The Western world is living in a lower growth cycle, and the developing economies are challenged. Technological change means that the way in which business is being conducted is evolving. So there's a huge amount of change going on right now for every business, every sector. There's a number of really exciting companies that are driving change in most sectors. So it would be almost impossible to cite all of them, but great examples of change enablers would be obviously Apple in the consumer electronics sector. Look at what they've done for music on the go, look at what they've done for computing on the go, look what they've done in terms of changing the phone industry, look at what they're about to do in terms of the watch industry. So consumer electronics has been turned on its head through Apple and their whole approach to business, which is very different. They outsource a huge amount, they have a very innovative supply chain, they use technologies obviously heavily, not just for their products, but internally as well. Another great example would be Southwestern Airlines or Ryanair in Europe, who have really used technology. They've used very agile, slim, nimble, value-driven models to turn the airline industry on its head, and they've really challenged the big national carriers. Then you go over to some other big incumbents, like look at Unilever, who's been driving this zero waste campaign. They've been opening out innovation through crowdsourcing to ask their customers to tell them what new products they should be developing rather than just their laboratories. So I think there's a great number of examples of businesses that are driving change in every sector. And I think as a result, it's very clear that business is changing and that rate of change is accelerating. Blur, Blur as a global marketplace for business services, is a barometer of that change. So we have nearly 60,000 businesses worldwide and some of the largest businesses in the world that use our platform to enable them to get their organizational design right by being more effective at the way in which they balance the resources that are going to drive performance internally and resources right down their supply chain that support them externally. But also, our platform is sort of a part of that shift. Part of this whole shift is the move to digital. And as businesses shift increasingly, whether they're analog businesses or traditional businesses or new businesses, they're all harnessing digital to move to a more accelerated, more agile, more customer-centric, and more value, more profitable business models. And Blur clearly enables that as a global online platform for business efficiency.